Well, the 5A game goes a double overtime, won by Wheaton Warrenville South, 40-34 in 2 overtimes. We got the 6A game coming up now, Loyola and Naperville North. Don't know if it's going to go to double overtime, but we are expecting an outstanding game. And right now we're going to go to Hancock Stadium on the campus of Illinois State University down in Bloomington Normal. Say hello to Tom Stocker and Jack McInerney bringing this one to you. Gentlemen.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. I don't know, Jack, if we can equal that 5A game, but I tell you what, a chance for the DuPage Valley Conference maybe to come away with 2 state championships in one afternoon.
There is an opportunity here, and we saw that nice gesture by Wheaton South to form a tunnel for Wheaton North as they came through prior to the game. A nice gesture on behalf of Wheaton South, and we could have possibly another great football game here. It's expected. They both have great teams.
2 teams that have gotten over a lot of frustration in the semifinals and making it here for the first time in both their programs. Loyola Academy, 2 bitter losses the last 2 years in the semifinals. Only 4 starters returned this year, Jack, and not a lot of people gave them much of a chance to come here this year.
Well, the coaching staff takes the credit for that, and as far as I'm concerned, they did a great job with these kids. But their tradition is there. They play in that very tough Catholic league, but being in the semifinals, those kids know what it takes to get there. They've seen the kids ahead of them work so darn hard, so that's the key to it. They have seen it happen before, and they know they can get there too.
It has been the defense that has carried Loyola Academy here to the finals. They've allowed their opponents over the course of the season and the playoffs less than a touchdown in game, including a very impressive performance against Homewood Flossmoor in the semifinals, holding them to 8 points. Jim O'Connor, their solid linebacker, leads their defense.
Well, he really does. He's an outstanding linebacker. And, of course, the Catholic League is noted for tough defense, and they did a great job last week in stopping the #1 ranked Homewood Flossmoor team coached by John Wren. It was a great performance by Loyola.
Last year, Loyola ran a lot of option. This year, they've gone to more of a power running attack, and leading it in the backfield, Ryan Gallagher, who has over 900 yards this year.
They really have a stable of good running backs. They have 3 or 4 running backs that any high school coach would love to have. He alternates them back and forth, Gallagher being a power runner, and Autry being the speed burner. We'll see 3 or 4 running backs today, and they're all good football players.
Also kind of running the whole show offensively for Loyola is quarterback Ziv Lausch, a B-team quarterback when he was a freshman. He has stepped in, done everything they've asked him. He gives them a dimension they didn't have last year by being able to throw the football.
He really does, and that kind of opens up the stable, so to speak, for those running backs, because the defensive backs and the linebackers got to stay off because of the threat of the quarterback.
Meanwhile, Naperville North in the finals for the first time. They finished 3rd in the DuPage Valley Conference. Well, that shows you how tough that conference is. They now take the field here at Hancock Stadium. They began the year, Jack, alternating quarterbacks. Finally, the 4th game of the year, they decided to go ahead and go with Ryan Firstino to run the run and shoot, which really they run more than they shoot.
They really do, and he does a great job running the option, extremely quick. In a big ball game against Naperville Central, he had 3 touchdown runs of over 40 yards and really is the catalyst for this outstanding offense that Naperville North has.
Now, Brennan Young was the other quarterback who alternated with Firstino, and a big key for them was finding him a place to play, and he's really taken off at the halfback spot.
Well, early on, they had Young and they had Firstino, and Larry McEwen had to make a decision. What am I going to do? He waited till the 3rd ball game, decided to go with Firstino, and then he took Young, who's an outstanding athlete, and put him at one of the running backs, and he has done a great job ever since.
And, of course, their tough defense is anchored by Mike Vakos, a great all-around athlete who is also a state wrestling champion at 189 pounds.
Well, you know when you'll see him down here, he's sleeveless. He's built like a wrestler. He has the mindset of a wrestler. He does an outstanding job, and he really anchors that defense.
So we are about to crown our final champion here in 2 days of football, the 6A state championship. Let's now meet both teams. Let's go to Stadium Public Address announcer Steve Adams.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the coaches and players for this Class 6A state championship game, featuring the Ramblers of Wilmette Loyola, entering this game with a record of 12-1, and the Huskies of Naperville North, who entered this game with a record of 11-2. Introducing the starting defensive lineup for Naperville North. Let's meet the head coach of Naperville North, Larry McEwen. Starting offensive lineup at left end, number 84, John Wedding. At left tackle, number 79, Steve Drysdale. At left guard, number 63, Mike Andler. At center, number 50, Dave Murtis. At right guard, number 73, Ryan Carpenter. At right tackle, number 75, Jim Talon. At right end, number 86, Joe Moore. At quarterback, number 11, Ryan Furstenau. At halfback, number 12, Brennan Young. At flankerback, number 32, Conrad Gacky. And at fullback, number 30, Charles Davenport. Those are the Huskies of Naperville North High School. And now let's meet the starting defensive lineup for the Ramblers of Loyola Academy. Let's meet the head coach, John Herster. At left end, number 42, John Dwyer. At left tackle, number 79, Paul Panicali. At right tackle, number 64, Ari Marinakis. At right end, number 75, Jeremy Lyons. At linebacker, number 85, Bo Deschereaux. At linebacker, number 47, Tim Fowler. At linebacker, number 36, Jim O'Connor. At defensive back, number 25, Drew Rauchi. At defensive back, number 20, Keith Herman. At defensive back, number 28, Tom Goodwin. And at safety, number 22, Matthew Shabas. At linebacker, number 44, Jim Tomaska. And those are the Ramblers of Wilmette Loyola.
Game conditions here at Hancock Stadium for this Class 6A championship game are similar to this morning, although not as much sun. Temperatures in the mid-30s, although seemingly getting colder as the afternoon goes on and the clouds start to cloud up overhead, and winds coming out of the southwest at about 10-12 miles an hour, seemingly calming down somewhat, though, as the afternoon grows. Now, let's tell you a little bit about these two teams here today that are coming out here. And, of course, the Loyola Academy Ramblers of North Suburban Wilmette, just north of Chicago, out of the Chicago Catholic League North. There you see where they're located, just north of the city of Chicago. And, of course, looking to get rid of that semifinal burning of the last couple of years. And head coach John Herster and his team had two shutouts to start out their road here to the finals at Hancock Stadium, and then beat my alma mater, Maine South, in the quarterfinals before knocking off #1 ranked and unbeaten Homewood Flossmoor 17-8 in the semifinals to deserve their spot here. Now, the Naperville North Huskies of Coach Larry McEwen out of the DuPage Valley Conference in the west suburbs of Chicago. They also had a difficult road. They knocked off Downers Grove South, a local rival, and then showed what they could do against the Catholic League by knocking off St. Rita, then beating their crosstown rival from Naperville Central, and a big win over Waubonsie Valley in a big defensive struggle for both teams.
It should make for an interesting Class 6A battle, and let's head upstairs to bring you the kickoff for this game. Tom Stocker and Jack McInerney.
John Lafferty sends it sailing for Loyola, and taking it in on the far side, that is Brennan Young. Young close to the 30 and stumbles up to about the 32-yard line. Good return for Brennan Young as we take a look at the offense of the Huskies. They run out of the run and shoot. An offensive line that's not tremendously big. And backfield with Ryan Firstino taking over the 5th game of the year at quarterback. Davenport's been a real force lately for them out of the fullback position. Gackey and Young are the wingbacks you saw at the ends. An offensive line not tremendously big. Talone is the biggest at 225 pounds. It is first down and 10. Davenport stacked up. In fact, he loses a yard trying to find some room on the right side. A host of Ramblers there. Outside linebacker John Dwyer, who also plays on their hockey club in the wintertime, makes the stop for Loyola. They run out of the 52 defense with Dwyer, Panicali, Marinakos, Lyons, and Bo Deschereaux up there on the line. O'Connor and Fowler, 2 good linebackers. Rauchi, Herman, Goodwin, and Chavez in the defensive secondary. A stingy defense this year for Loyola. Second down, they call it 10 yards to go. It's Firstino throwing to Young, and he was open and dropped the football. Started to run before he had it gathered in, as their alternating quarterback combination going to work right there.
They're trying to loosen up the Loyola defense. And one thing that Naperville does and does extremely well is they mix up their plays on the offense. They really do a nice job. They come inside trap, outside veer, inside veer. Firstino is a real threat on the option, and he throws the ball real well. He's only a junior.
Ball is just across the 31-yard line, bringing up 3rd down and 10 on the first drive of the game for the Huskies of Naperville North. Firstino with time over the middle. It's up for grabs, and it's intercepted by Keith Herman, the free safety. And Loyola Academy's defense gets the ball in great field position at the 36-yard line.
And it surprised me that he threw inside, not allowing him to clear the linebackers, forced it inside, and you can see it gets tipped. And Firstino's not a real big kid, and the throw right there, you can see the linebacker reading it the whole time, tips the ball. There's a tip drill. Nice interception.
Herman, who beat a bout with spinal meningitis last year, has come back for a fine season this season as Loyola Academy, the pitch sweep. Ryan Gallagher strings him out and gets it up to about the 32-yard line. He picks up 4. The quarterback, Mike Logan, makes the tackle. Here is the offensive backfield now for the Ramblers with Ziv Lalich, the quarterback, Romansky and Gallagher in the backfield with the receivers Schweiger and Dracoff. Taylor will go onto the flanker position or the power eye position. There's the offensive line with good size. Everybody 200 or more, with 3 of them 225 or bigger. It is second down and 6 yards to go at the 32-yard line. Tailback straight ahead. That's Adrian Autry. And he is grabbed down by the ankles, but not before he gets to the 28-yard line after picking up 4 yards, bringing up 3rd down. Conrad Gackey with the stop, a 6'1 junior.
Let's take a look at where the job gets done right there. You can see the explosion of the offensive line driving the Naperville North lineman off the ball. Nice effort here by Autry, and he's the real burner for Loyola. He gets loose in the secondary and he's gone. But the key will be right here. Watch the offensive line.
Loyola trying to cash in off the game's first turnover. It's 3rd and 2. The toss goes to Greg Taylor, the power back, and he has a first down as he is close to the 20-yard line for the Ramblers. Mike Vakos, the linebacker, and Brian Toll, the free safety, make the stop.
Well, let's take a look here at the surge. You can see right here the guard pulls, kicks out on the outside, but you see all those blue jerseys down on the ground. Outstanding effort up front by the linemen, and this is a key, and you get in a game like this, the job gets done up front.
Taylor alternated last year as a sophomore. It is 1st and 10 from the 21. Again, they run out of the power I backfield. Once again, it's the tailback, Adrian Autry, straight ahead to about the 18-yard line. A whole bunch of blue jerseys there as we take a look at how the Huskies line up on defense. They run out of a 4-4. Sometimes you can pass against them. They have given up some numbers this year with Flynn, Seaman, Studley, Carlson across the front. And the linebackers Spike Vakos and Shear And then in the secondary, you've got Kim, Toll, Logan, and Conrad Gacky, the caveman, they call him.
Does a heck of a job both sides of the football.
2nd down and 7 from the 17-yard line in motion. That is Schweiger as he sets up now on the left side. I think they've got a 2 tight end set. It's Gallagher. The hole closed up quickly as they swarm over him at the 15-yard line. Conrad Gacky, the first to get to him against Naperville Central in the quarterfinals. Gacky with an interception touchdown, which also set up a touchdown later on.
Good numbers there for Ryan Gallagher. Looked on that sweep that he kind of gave up on his own speed, trying to get outside, try to cut back inside. And Gacky, with good pursuit, makes the play. But Ryan Gallagher has been the catalyst for Loyola this entire season.
2nd, 3rd down situation on this drive that began with the turnover at the 36. Adrian Autry goes down at the 11-yard line. It's going to be very close. Mike Vakos tripped him up. Vakos, their leading tackler, over 150 tackles this year, over 350 tackles the last 2 years. He has got to be involved for their defense. You see Adrian Autry's numbers on the year, almost 6 yards a carry and 11 touchdowns.
Vakos is a tough young man, and he anchors the middle of that defense, and he is in on most plays. As you can tell by the amount of solos there, he's the middle linebacker, and he makes the calls and does an outstanding job.
Loyola is going to go for it on 4th and short. The tailback Gallagher. He got it. And he gets the first down, maybe gets it to the 9-yard line, and it'll be 1st and goal coming up for the Ramblers of Loyola Academy. That just typifies their offense all year, just straight ahead power football, nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy. You got good, strong running backs, but the key is you got people up front that are moving that defense. Watch the line. Watch the white and where the blue ends up right here. You can see the surge that makes the difference. And of course, you got strong running backs following them, and that's why they've come into this game 12-1.
They've got Gallagher at fullback, Autry at tailback with Taylor the power back on 1st and goal. That's Autry going in motion. Taylor gets the call to about the 8-yard line, picks up 2, bringing up 2nd and goal. Mike Vakos once again on the tackle. Against Glenbard North earlier this season, he had 13 carries, 143 yards. Vakos when he was playing offense. Now he's playing totally defense. Greg Taylor, nearly 7 yards a carry on the season.
Well, when they settled in and where they were putting their personnel about halfway through the season, that's when they really started to gel. When they went with 1st and 0 and they put Vanko at fullback, or excuse me, at the middle linebacker, and they settled in and they went more to a platoon system. That's when these players really started to gel.
From the 8, it's 2nd and goal. Toss to Taylor. As blocking, a penalty marker is down. He is to the 4-yard line. The penalty marker thrown as he swept to the left side. Conrad Gacky, strong side linebacker, makes the tackle.
Gacky's in a lot of football plays.
And the indication it is a hold against Loyola, and they'll step off 10 yards.
Good shot of John Herster in the baseball cap right there. Has done a great job at Loyola. Was an assistant for 15 years at Gordon Tech under the legendary Tom Winecki.
In fact, he was the defensive coordinator there, and this year, earlier this season, they shut out Gordon Tech. John, of course, was on that.
Holding. White. 3rd down. 2nd down.
He was the defensive coordinator in that great battle with Revis back in 1986, nothing. In the 5A title game.
Revis was in the title game 3 years in a row, and they finally won it, as did Wheaton Warrenville on the 3rd try.
It is 3rd down. Make that 2nd down. 17 yards to go. First time Lalich is going to put it up as he rolls out. Now a penalty marker is thrown. Somebody probably holding out in front of the quarterback, and he is dropped all the way back at the 19-yard line. Linebacker Sean Sear, the first one to get to Zev Lalich, who has done what they have needed him to do this year, that is throw the football. Last year, their quarterback basically just ran the football on the option.
Gave them the dimension that they needed to secure that running game. To pound on people continually is not going to work, especially in the big games, but he has added dimension to him. On this particular play here, Naperville North did a great job secondary-wise of coverage that forced him into scrambling.
So 2 consecutive penalties has moved the ball all the way back. It was at the 8.
Holding. Offense.
fact, it was down to about the 6-yard line at one point. Now 2 penalties has pulled it all the way out to the 30-yard line, where it's still second down. Second and a whole bunch. Second and goal to go from the 30.
Well, we're still in a situation here in this first quarter where both teams are trying to let the butterflies settle down, and that's the reason for most of those penalties, being a little over anxious.
Walich with everybody in tight.
Reverse.
There's a reverse. Coming around is Scott Jones. He has a blocker downfield. He's to the 18, maybe the 17-yard line. Finally, Conrad Gackey over there to make the stop, along with quarterback Ken Kim for Naperville North.
Well, it's a good call because they've been running that power football. You can see the toss right here. And the key right there was Naperville's defensive speed, being able to come back and react and do a good job here.
Jones with excellent speed, had a 44-yard touchdown earlier this season against De La Salle, and also had 2 touchdowns against Schaumburg. Here you see Conrad Gackey, strong side linebacker for Naperville. It's 3rd and goal from the 18. This is the 10th play in this drive, and look out! Untouched. Coming in untouched from the linebacker spot, Sean Shear on the blitz. And he drops Lalage all the way back at the 28-yard line, a loss of 10.
Well, you know, he did that last week. He's coming back on the weak side to the back of the quarterback. He can't see him to react. And he killed Waubonsie Valley last week on that same stunt, coming from the backside on the fire, and did an outstanding job. Sean Shearer.
So it is 4th and goal, and Loyola is going to attempt a field goal. Coming in is John Lafferty, who is 4 of 6 this year. This will be a 44-yard try.
Devin Butler would have trouble down here with this kind of swirling wind.
The snapper, Paul Loftus. The holder, Matt Prozel. And whistles blow and penalty markers are thrown. They've run out of time. Were they showing something? Maybe now they move 5 yards back, and here comes the punting unit.
Well, I think he was trying to pull him offside, but that wouldn't have added anything because it wouldn't have been a first down situation.
Maybe John just planting a seed in the mind of his counterpart, Larry McCune of Naperville North.
Offense, 4th down.
So it's still 4th and goal. Now Lafferty comes in to punt. He is average, as you see, just over 31 yards a punt, with as long as 42 yards this year. Tom Goodwin will be the long snapper on the punt unit. Lafferty takes the snap, drops it, gets it back, and just gets it away. And gets a great bounce inside the 15-yard line. Holy mackerel, they came up roses on what could have been near disaster. 3:28 to go in the first quarter. No score for the 6A state championship. Tom Stalker, Jack McInerney back with you as we've got 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter of the 6A battle. No score between Naperville North and Loyola, and a great job by the defense of Naperville North, aided by a couple of crucial penalties to take away that scoring opportunity for the Ramblers, who had that takeaway. 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Out of the run and shoot, Davenport bouncing inside to about the 15-yard line. He gets 3. Harry Marinakis, the 6-foot senior defensive tackle, makes the stop.
Davenport's been a threat all year up the middle with the trap. He's had about 850 yards and 12 touchdowns and about a 5-point average, and he's been a key for him inside.
First, you see, threw for over 1,300 yards on the year, but he ran for 3 touchdowns in the quarterfinals against rival Naperville Central.
Here he goes.
Great fake. Great fake. He is up to about the 22-yard line. Keith Herman on the stop for the Ramblers as he picks up about 7 yards to the 22. And you can see he's run for 9 touchdowns this year, averaging 4 yards a carry, which for a quarterback is not bad.
Well, he's done a nice job, and here's the play that really helped him. Is he's a quick little quarterback, and he does a nice job on the option, as we mentioned, against Naperville Central. 3 big runs that keyed their victory.
It's just inside the 22, 3rd and very short. The motion man gets the pitch, and Conrad Gackey gets the first down. Not before Jeremy Lyons, though, was able to make the stop as They put that man in motion. They put the wing back in motion out of the run and shoot, and many times the pitch will go quickly from him, from Ryan Firstenow.
Well, they'll make the toss. They run off tackle with them. They run the sweep. Off that same motion, they'll get him quickly out into the flat for a pass and a spread out by Firstenow. So there's a lot of dimensions that Naperville North has with this offense.
So it's first down at the 23-yard line for the Huskies, nearing 2 minutes for the first quarter.
Here's the counter.
A lot of motion on that play. Big hole up the middle for Conrad Gackey. He has a first down at the 35-yard line after a 12-yard gain. Strong safety Drew Rauchi, a 5'9" senior, makes the stop.
This is what we talked about in the pregame, is the misdirection that they have. They're trapping here with the wingback coming back. They show option one way. They come back. This is a big play for them in their offense.
They had people going every which way after the snap of the football. Lots of misdirection, lots of deception out of that run and shoot. First and 10 from the 35. Breaking a tackle in the backfield. Looked to be Gackey as Tomaska and Bo Deschereaux makes the stop. Once again, it was Conrad Gackey coming in motion off the wingback to get the toss.
Well, what they're doing there is they're really freezing up those linebackers so they can't key on one back or the other. Now, that's the key to Loyola's defense, are those linebackers. And with this misdirection, it kind of freezes them up and takes away their aggressiveness.
Davenport, the lone running back. The wingbacks are Young, who is now in motion, and Gackey. Straight ahead, Davenport plowing to the 42, maybe 43-yard line. For the heart of the defense for Loyola, Jim O'Connor, the 2-year senior starter, makes the tackle.
Again, we're getting a good look at the versatility of Naperville North, and there's a shot of Davenport's numbers. He's had an outstanding year at fullback for him.
Earlier this year against Thornwood, had 158 yards and 18 carries, and 2 touchdowns also against Wheaton North earlier this season. It is third down, 3 yards to go at the 42-yard line. Davenport has first down by about a foot or so to spare. Looked like he had a bigger hole, but it quickly closed up. Great job by O'Connor filling the gap. 24 seconds to go in the first down for the Huskies of Naperville North. They can really eat up the clock. They have that big 8-minute-plus drive at the end of the semifinal win over Waubonsee Valley.
And that was a must drive for them to kill the clock, because Waubonsee had just come back and scored twice, and Naperville controlled the whole tempo.
Here is Firstenow throwing, a leaping catch by John Wedding, and hanging on Tom Goodwood and Keith Herman to hold them for no more gain after the catch, but they're on Loyola's side of the 50-yard line. That is the end of the first quarter. No score between Loyola and Naperville North in the state championship, Class 6A. That's the scene, Normal, Illinois. We're at Hancock Stadium on the campus of Illinois State University. First quarter scoreless between Naperville North and Loyola as we switch ends, and it's second down and 4 coming up now for the Huskies at the 48-yard line of the Ramblers. Again, on that run and shoot formation, that was Young going in motion, straight ahead call to Davenport, and he gets just a couple of yards. O'Connor on the tackle. Jack, is it me, or is it everybody still stunned a bit by that thrilling finish in 5A? Everybody in the stadium was mesmerized. I couldn't take my eye off the finish.
Absolutely. There really is a dramatic change in the atmosphere to this point from the near hysteria that we had from the fourth quarter on in the 5A, and I think people are just kind of coming out of the shock of that all. They were somewhat drained emotionally, and the same with these two teams. They were held off because of the overtime, and they're still kind of a little flat too.
Quick pass over the middle, and O'Connor, what an interception!
Well, that woke him up, see?
O'Connor gets it to the 47-yard line. He just went up and snared that ball out of the air. Ryan Carpenter makes the tackle out of the offensive line for Naperville. 7 yards on the return. He was trying a little pop pass over the middle, Firstenow, and O'Connor came out of nowhere to snare that baby.
Well, it's difficult for Firstenow because he's not a real tall quarterback, and he's just dumping the ball over the top, and the linebacker never moved. It was a combination of not a real good throw. It should have been over more because the linebacker was frozen temporarily.
Straight up the middle, Ryan Gallagher pounding to about the 42-yard line. Conrad Gackey makes the stop for Naperville North. We're early in the second quarter with no score. Each team now with a turnover.
And again, they're still kind of feeling each other out in this atmosphere. big state championship game. Neither team having been here before, but being very close the last several years. Both these programs have been in the semifinals over the last 5 years. Loyola being here twice as far as being in the semifinals.
2nd down and 6 from the 42. Getting to the sidelines, Greg Taylor, the power back, or they call him the Z-back in the Ramblers offensive lexicon. He is run out of bounds near side by Conrad Kaki. Also Mike Vakos in on the play, bringing up 3rd down and about 6 yards to go.
Now, these are two very sound, fundamentally sound football teams here, with both coaches, Larry McEwen and John Hurster, doing a great job. And there's not a lot of room for errors here because these teams are so well schooled in their football skills. So it's really a chess match back and forth.
He picked up enough for the 1st down. It's 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. So fresh set of down for quarterback Zev Lalich, who stacks him up strong side to the left, and slanting to that side, Ryan Gallagher. 2-yard pickup to the 35-yard line. Cornerback Ken Kim and Conrad Gacke calling his name a lot. He and Vakos, though, are very active on their defense.
They really are. They're two very active football players. And, of course, Gacke going both ways adds a dimension to Naperville North from the standpoint of a running back and a linebacker. And he plays equally well on both sides of the football.
Lalich with 5 touchdowns on the year, but also has thrown 5 interceptions. 2nd down and 8 from the 35. Tailback Adrian Autry, not much, strung out well, got maybe a yard. Chris Flynn, the defensive end, 6'3", 215-pound, 2-year starter, was the initial Husky there that a whole bunch of red shirts, blue shirts, I should say, caught up to him.
Trying to power trap outside, leading with the back kicking out and the guard leading up underneath. But Naperville, their quickness is getting to the football, and negated that play.
No gain. 3rd and 8 coming up. So far, very even in rushing. Naperville North with a slight edge. Loyola, though, with the ball at the Husky 35. The toss goes to Gallagher. Can he get outside? He shakes 1 tackle. He's just shy of the 1st down. Boy, did a great job bouncing off a tackler. Finally, Brian Toll, the free safety, forced him out of bounds.
He's a tough runner. He doesn't have that great speed that Autry has, but the toss out here, it's just a power toss. Good lead block there, and he just shakes the defender, and you can see him lower the shoulder trying to pick up that 1st down. Comes up about a yard short, 4th and 1.
Just outside the 27. There's Mike Vakos, state wrestling champ at 189 pounds last year, calling the defensive signals for the Huskies.
Seen Naperville play several times this year, and he is one heck of a football player.
Under 9 minutes for the 1st half, 4th down. And with a hole, Adrian Autry spins to the right side and picks up the 1st down as he gets to the 24-yard line, a 3-yard gain. Cornerback Ken Kim makes the stop, but not before Autry picks up a fresh set of downs for the Ramblers.
You know, they keep shuttling in these backs. They have a lot of good running backs. And, of course, backs look good when they run behind a good, strong offensive line.
A line that goes across 226, 200, 228, 220, and 235. Gallagher breaks a tackle close to the 1st down as he's near the 15-yard line. Linebacker Sean Scherer with the stop for the Huskies, but a good job by Gallagher bouncing outside.
Well, he's a tough runner. We can see on the initial contact right here, you see a good surge by the offensive line, but right here, watch him lower his shoulder. Great leg drive right there, just bowls over the tacklers.
So it'll bring up 2nd and a short 2. Gallagher had 2 touchdowns against Leo, 2 touchdowns against Notre Dame, 2 against Schaumburg in the regular season. Dancing through Adrian Autry. 1 man to beat, and finally saving the touchdown was Sean Scherer, knocking him out of bounds at the 4-yard line. He picked up 12 yards.
Interesting how John Hurster flip-flops. Now Autry's at tailback and Gallagher's at fullback. Well, watch the quick feet right here. He just pops it outside, and it looks like he's gone. Great effort right here coming up to make the tackle. And, of course, that's Sean Scherer, who's made some big tackles all year long for Naperville.
There are 4 running backs, all about the same size and very versatile and interchangeable. 1st and goal. Running play straight ahead, of yard maybe for Ryan Gallagher. You know, Gallagher had not played defense all year, but went in on the nickel package last week in the semifinals against Homewood Flossmoor.
Well, the kind of athlete he is, that's the kind of faith John has in him. He's just a good, solid football player and knows when the chips are down, he can go to him. He'll come up with a clutch play.
Also in the regular season, at a 61-yard touchdown run, affecting the quarterfinals against Maine South. 2nd and goal. Wallace with a long count. Toss goes to Autry. Penalty marker is down. Autry stopped at the 1-yard line.
It's got to be on Loyola.
Definitely either holding or illegal block in the back, and it's a hold.
This is what happened on their first drive. They got down there, penetrated to about the 6-yard line, and all of a sudden, before we knew it, they were back on the 30.
Yeah, they had the interception by Herman. They got it down to the 6-yard line, then suddenly a hold and a clip, I believe, back-to-back. Took him out of scoring range. Boy, you can see that Autry got it inside the 1, but it's probably going to come back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Just give them his choices right here, and of course, they want to take them away from the goal line.
Once again, it goes from the spot of the foul, not the line of scrimmage. They do move the ball back out to the 13-yard line.
Holding. Offense.
It happened at the line of scrimmage.
Down.
Still 2nd and goal. Loyola now has been penalized 4 times for 35 yards. Fumble on the snap. And Loyola, though, keeps it. It'll be 3rd down. Falling on it was Lolich at the 15-yard line. He just did beat Sean Shear to the football.
You can see right here, before he even tosses the ball, it was supposed to be a sweep to Gallagher. He lost the football, and he had enough reaction to get the ball and maintain possession here. 3rd and goal.
From the 16-yard line. Straight ahead with the call, Greg Taylor, number 23, to about the 13-yard line, got 3. Mike Bakos with the stop earlier this year against Bennett Academy. He had 15 tackles in a game, and the field goal unit comes on, led by John Lafferty.
I think John wants to make sure he gets some points out of this possession, getting down to penetrating the red zone here.
This will be a 30-yard try out of the hold of Matt Prozel. It is good. And Loyola is on the scoreboard first with 5.5 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. They lead 3-0 as they battle Wheaton North for the state championship in Class 6A.
Now you have got to destroy those power backs. We cannot allow that tight end to steal our inside linebacker. We have got to get better scrape on that. Understand? We cannot be doing this shit. Damn it, they still constructed down there. We got holding belly scrap like this. We cannot allow them to put their bread and butter in. And the fastest part of their bread and butter.
What he's trying to do is make sure the tight end for Loyola is walling off their linebackers on the outside, and he's trying to make sure that those tackles are pinching and those outside linebackers so they're not able to get onto the linebackers. The whole idea of that defensive front is to keep those people off of the linebackers.
Stan Gruska talking like an ex-wrestling coach in that group as he handles the line. The kick by Lafferty, and First and 0 takes it at about the 10-yard line. He gets outside. One man to beat. He's to the 30-yard line. Keith Herman was the only man between First and 0 and a whole lot of artificial surface. A 24-yard return as First and 0 goes from now kick returner to quarterback. Take a look at the scoring drive off the O'Connor interception. They moved just 34 yards, took 12 plays, and a lot of time before Lafferty picked up the field goal.
Just kept pounding on that defense of Naperville, just that hard running game.
1st and 10 from the 31. Quick handoff to Davenport, who just slants off the right side to about the 33. Jim O'Connor in there on the tackle once again. Bring up 2nd down and about 7 yards to go.
You know, this could be one of those ball games where it comes down to a missed tackle here or a missed tackle there, because both are playing fairly close to the best, but part of it is because they both play excellent defense.
Hoping that their defense will give them some opportunities. On the other side of the 50, the toss goes to Brennan Young. Great effort to the 40, maybe the 41-yard line. Finally brought down by O'Connor and the strong safety Drew Rauchi. He kept driving through the initial hit and got several yards after the first contact.
It's really amazing to think of the switch that Larry made, having had Brennan Young at quarterback with Firstino back and forth for the first 3 ball games, and to make that switch and put him at running back that uses athleticism and has taken him on to 10 wins.
Finding a place for him to play was a big, big key for their success this year. Davenport on 3rd and 1 runs hard for the first down. Several Ramblers there, including Jeremy Lyons and also outside linebacker John Dwyer. But he gets the first down as he's to the 42-yard line.
You can see Firstino coming right at you, and there's Davenport on the option. Just good, hard inside running. That's the job of fullback in the run and shoot and in an option offense, is that between the tackles, you got to get us 4 yards.
Once again, Young, Davenport, and Gackey are the running backs. 2 wing backs and a single setback. Wide out left and right on the run and shoot.
Counter.
Nice inside counter play. That's Brennan Young. And he's all the way to the Loyola 35-yard line. Matt Chavez saved a touchdown.
That's that offense, and again, watch the motion. Well, flow coming one way and coming back. Right there's the trap. Nice job by Brennan Young coming back. Good open field running, cutting back against the grain right here. But that's the versatility that Naperville has in that offense. They really give you all kinds of different looks.
23 yards on the carry. First down at the 35 of Loyola. Young in motion, quick drop for Firstino, throws it out to John Wedding. And Wedding will be given progress to about the 31-yard line. He was hit hard by Drew Rauchi and Matt Chavez, but again, they'll give him progress to the 31, a pickup of 4 yards. You know, that defensive line, which really was a big turning point in the semifinal win for Loyola, they really are aggressive, and that misdirection really takes advantage of aggressive defenses.
Absolutely, you have to do that when you've got linebackers keen, as Loyola does. You've got to give them misdirection to freeze those guys up and not make them so wild inside.
Second down and 7. Keeping his Firstino to the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Jim O'Connor, who has been a busy linebacker, makes the stop once again.
They have so many different keys when you have that misdirection that you're hoping to slow down their aggressiveness, have them stay home, and end up confusing them in the backfield. There's Larry giving the signals.
10th year as head coach at Naperville North. The last 6 years, his program has gone 60-14.
Incredible. Before that, he did a great job at Plainfield High School, and before that, he was an assistant at Joliet Catholic under the legendary Gordy Gillespie.
3rd and 3. Toss goes to Young.
Pass is open.
It's caught.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Touchdown. Conrad Gackey off the option. A little razzle, a little dazzle, and maybe more dazzle on that play.
Add a little more dazzle by showing you the reverse and then throwing off the reverse, hoping to get the secondary to come up on the reverse action, which they did. Find a man open for 6. Let's take a look at it. Again, it's just a toss. Shows the fake reverse right there, and he's got a man going right up the field and held the fake just long enough to freeze him. 6 points.
Boy, they did a little bit of everything off all that motion. Make the reverse, come up throwing. 28 yards on the touchdown. Here is the point after, and it is good. And so Naperville North has taken a 7-3 lead with 2:05 left to go in the second quarter. Well, talk about having an advantage of finding that other position for Brennan Young. Obviously gives you that dimension.
Well, it certainly does, and the part of it too is the dimension that the offense has. Larry does a great job of play calling, and you know, it's interesting, both coaches are outstanding coaches, and then they take advantage of the personnel that they have. John has big, strong running backs, an outstanding line, doesn't do a lot of real fancy things, just powers at you with what he has. Hard runners, and that's what he does with his personnel. Larry, on the other hand, has kids that can do some things a little differently. They're not as big as strong, they might be a little quicker, and he utilizes his personnel with the run and shoot, running more than shooting, but he does a great job with the play calling.
A 7-3 Naperville North lead as they get their first score and take the lead. All the scoring has taken place here in the second quarter. As Brian Toll now into kickoff with Gallagher and Herman back deep. along with Taylor. Kick comes to the near side. Gallagher takes it at the 14. Good return. Up to the 35, about a 21-yard return. And let's go down to the sidelines and our colleague Joe Passion.
Well, Tom, one thing you guys going on, something you had said earlier, one thing about Larry McEwen, he is starts off with his offensive game plan in a conservative role, but he's got those liberal plays that he pulls out of his Democratic playbook later on. And we saw one work a moment ago for a touchdown back upstairs.
Election year, so that's why we're using this terminology.
I demand a recount on that one, Passion. 1:49 to go, first half. The toss goes to Gallagher, runs to the short side. Ooh, a big pop on the hit at the 35-yard line by Conrad Gackey. Also Ken Kim wrapping him up as well.
Go from a football game to a political science class.
Does that mean instead of a huddle they now caucus? I don't know.
It could be.
Pickup of only a yard, second down and 9. Ryan Gallagher, co-captain, 2-year starter, 5'10" senior. That pass blocked in the air. Looked like it was Chris Flynn who got the big hand up there to knock it in the air as it falls incomplete. As Ziv Lalich, the 6-foot senior, is having trouble throwing over that defensive line of Naperville North.
Well, they're trying to spread the defense, and the corner was off, and he was going with a quick 3-step drop, but you got to chop block those defensive linemen and get their hands down. Now watch right here. You see right here, he's not chopped. He gets up in the air. What you try to do is be aggressively blocking those guys below the waist, which you can do between the tackles, to get their hands down so they can't do that.
Gallagher, Taylor, and Autry in the backfield. That's Taylor going in motion. Lalich throwing it short in the general direction of Scott Jones, who had a couple of defenders on him. The pass well underthrown.
Good pressure coming from up front there again.
And Loyola Academy will have to punt the football. So back in punt position will be John Lafferty, who's averaged 31+ yards a punt. He'll get the snap from Tom Goodwin with 1:36 to go. Here in the second quarter, Naperville North about to get the ball with a 7-3 lead. It'll bounce by 1st and 0 and gets a long Loyola roll to the 19-yard line before it's finally down. Tom Goodwin, the snapper, got down there in a hurry to down the punt at the 19-yard line. That's where Naperville North will take it over after a 45-yard punt.
Those AstroTurf bounce, they give a punter an awful big average.
Take a rock-hard cold football, an artificial surface.
Well, my foot hurts every time I see those punters punt. You know, their foot has got to be cold, and that ball turns into a brick.
It's like kicking an anvil. First down at the 19-yard line. Nice inside counter move again for Brennan Young to the 26-yard line. Jim O'Connor comes up from the linebacker spot to make the tackle along with Keith Herman, but he picked up about 5-6 yards. No huddle offense. 1:02 left to go.
Which falls right into this kind of an offense with the run and shoot. Run, throwing the
Nearly picked off. Good job by the defender Tom Goodwin to break up the pass intended for Joe Moore, but it was Ari Marinakis, the 6-foot senior, who put a lot of pressure on 1st and 0.
This was a great play actually by the receiver because he stopped. This was very well could have been an interception at 6 points down the sideline. Watch how he stops right there and actually knocks the ball down before it's intercepted. That was an outstanding play.
3rd and 3 from the 26. Slipping a bit was 1st and 0. He fumbles the football, but it bounces right to Brennan Young. Right place, right time. O'Connor was there defending on the play for Loyola. You'll get those kind of bounces on the artificial surface.
You sure will, and they won't always bounce back to you.
It's 4th down. I was going to comment that on that last touchdown drive for Naperville North, they were very, very conservative, and they were really lulling Loyola's defense to sleep, breaking up with the real big wild plays as Loyola now takes a timeout. 25 seconds to go in the first half. Well, let's take a look at that last play.
1st and 0 here, trying to get outside. You can see him coming down, kind of trips a little bit here, gets stuck. Really did not plan on pitching it. Just a good effort there by the defender, and they keep control of the ball. But, you know, originally what's happening, too, conservatism early by Naperville to see what kind of defensive adjustments Loyola was making before they went into their basic offense, which is the counter and the trap and the option. And so far, they've done a nice job.
What kind of a fits does that kind of an offense when they have all that counter give to a defensive coordinator?
It's very difficult because what happens is it really negates the aggressiveness of your linebackers and your defensive backs. You emphasize all during the week, you got to stay home. If a team is one of those power teams, very much like Loyola, that doesn't show you a lot of counters, you can really kind of fly to the ball. You can pursue more. But when you have a team like Naperville, you got to really stay home. Backside people got to stay home till the ball passes the line of scrimmage. Then they take their angles of pursuit. So that's what'll slow Loyola down, is all the counter action that Naperville runs.
And then that defense winds up going back on its heels a bit, having to stay home.
That's right. It takes away that aggressiveness.
It is 4th down. And so Phil Jensick, who averaged nearly 32 yards a punt, drops back in punt position for the Huskies. Gets the snap and plenty of time.
Good kick.
Fair catch called for downfield, taken at the 40-yard line by Keith Herman. Well, one defender went flying on by for Naperville. As nearly making contact there was Mike Andler. Almost didn't give Herman enough room to make the fair catch. A 34-yard punt.
Loyola's ready to put the ball in play here with 18 seconds left. Shotgun.
Let's see what they do to open up their normally power eye offense, as Lalich has dropped back in the shotgun. He's got fullback Jared Romansky, and he hands it off to Romansky, and they run out of that shotgun to the 45-yard line. Conrad Gackey once again making the stop. Boy, he and then O'Connor for Loyola, both linebackers having solid games.
They really are two outstanding defensive football players for both teams that have led their teams to the state championship game. And you've got to have leadership like that, especially out of the linebacker position, because that is all that is on defense is a quarterback. I mean, that's your leader from the defensive side of the ball, the same as the leader is on offense as the quarterback. So you got to have leadership from your linebackers.
And a timeout has been taken with 10 seconds left to go. Don't forget, at halftime coming up, Joe Passion will review the first half scoring. We'll also go back to our Sports Channel Report studios for an update, and then also take a look then at action and the statistics from the first half of this Class 6A state championship game, the final one we are crowning this weekend. Hats off to Hardin Calhoun, who won 1A. Richmond Burton, the 2A champ. DeCoyne, the 3A champ. Oswego won the 4A title last night at Wheaton Warrenville South out of the DuPage Valley Conference in double overtime, beating Joliet Catholic in a game they will talk about for a long, long time.
Well, with 10 seconds left here, you know, they can play conservative or they can put it up and let something happen. If it's intercepted, it's like a punt.
Lalich putting it up. He's going to let his man run underneath it. Instead, it goes right to a defender. It goes right to Brian Toll, the free safety.
Just like a punt.
And he is taken off his feet at the 12-yard line. Time has run out as we have reached the end of the first half here at Hancock Stadium. And at halftime, it is Naperville North leading in a low-scoring affair.
You know, it's low scoring from the standpoint of the fact that we're looking at two outstanding defenses. It's not that the offenses aren't potent. It's just the fact that we're looking at two outstanding defenses that just do a heck of a job at getting to the football.
Well, we talked before the game about Loyola's defense and how they've allowed their opponents less than a touchdown a game. But on the other side of the coin, maybe Naperville North's defense has been overlooked because, number one, the offense is the run and shoot, a little flashy, and number two, they've gotten such big leads that McEwen is not afraid to put in substitutes, and some people have come back on those second-teamers. And let's go down to the sidelines now. And Joe Passion.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. John, a couple of costly penalties in the red zone on two different offensive series. Seems like the biggest problem right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting the turnovers defensively, but offensively, we have to just get away from those penalties. We got to be able to score when we get in the red zone.
What has been the most difficult adjustment as the game progresses with this run and shoot offense that Naperville shows?
Well, obviously, they're just as tough as they are in film. We have to go in at halftime, make a couple adjustments. They're a fine team, and we have to come out and play some tough football in the second half.
Your biggest adjustments you're focusing on as you go into the locker room?
Well, again, we have to avoid the costly penalties. We can't stop ourselves.
Okay, go get them, John.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much, John Herster. the Loyola Academy head coach, and we'll send it back up meanwhile to Tom and Jack.
So one half of the 6A championship game is history, with Naperville North leading by the score of 7-3. Lots more to come your way during halftime as our coverage on Sports Channel continues.
As the caped marching Ramblers of Loyola Academy band here out in the field of Hancock Stadium, entertaining the live crowd here at halftime. The Huskies lead in the locker room is 4 points, 7-3 over the Ramblers of Loyola. Joe Passion back with you here of our Class 6A championship game. And although there was not a lot of scoring, there was a lot of defense. Let's go over the scoring summary with you first, as you see how in this first half it all came in the second quarter. Loyola's 30-yard field goal by Lafferty gave them the early lead, and that was the second time that Loyola was inside the 20-yard line and was unable to get a touchdown out of it because penalties pushed them back further. Naperville North, though, came up with their big play, played conservative offense early on, and then a 28-yard touchdown pass on a play action from Young, and that goes for the touchdown. Towel's kick was good, making it a 7-3 halftime lead. Let's take a look at that touchdown again, and this is where great play action. Now watch on the pitch, and the halfback will take it, and he just sets up and makes a great throw of it, getting behind the secondary, going in for the touchdown. That scoring drive took up 3 minutes and 31 seconds, but more importantly, it took up 69 yards. Gacke's 28-yard touchdown pass from Young on the halfback play action. And really, that liberal play, that little trick out of the sleeve of Coach Larry McEwen really livened up this first half, which has really reminded me more of a Catholic League North or South game. A lot of grind out, in between the tackle running, great hitting defensively from both teams, and making for a very interesting first half. Leading here 7-3 are the Huskies at the break. And we want to remind you that coming up here at halftime, as we continue our live coverage from our Sports Channel studios, Steve Cashel will have a live sports update for you. But first, let's take you on this timeout. The score here at the half of the 6A championship game. The Huskies of Naperville North leading Loyola's Ramblers 7-3.
And welcome back to Hancock Stadium, where we are getting close to the second half as Naperville North leads it, as you see, 7-3 at halftime. All the scoring taking place in the second quarter. In fact, down 3-0. Naperville North marched the ball 88 yards, and then watch this as just about everybody gets into the act.
Well, it's really interesting. Again, they're showing reverse because they've shown flow the entire game, and a fake reverse coming up here. Right there's the fake, and he's got a receiver coming down the field there. You can see 25 was frozen by the initial reverse move. That's all it took. And there's the pass from the ex-quarterback, Conrad Gacke, taking the reception and a touchdown.
Brennan Young coming off that, the converted quarterback turned wingback off the option. The 28-yard touchdown. The point after was good, and that put Naperville in front by the score of 7-3. Let's take a look at statistics. Wilmette Loyola with the big edge in time of possession, but the total offense, Naperville North has the lead.
Well, they really have shot themselves in the foot. Both drives they had to settle for the field goal on the second drive, and on the first drive they were on the 6-yard line in the first quarter, and they wound up on the 30, and that was the first shot in the foot. And then later on another drive they had to settle for the field goal after they were down to the 1-yard line, and they had a holding penalty. So they really hurt themselves. As John Herster mentioned, the penalties have hurt them, and they got to watch out for the big plays coming from Naperville North.
Yeah, the Ramblers had a chance for 2 scores in that first half. Coming up, we will talk with our head coach from Naperville North, Larry McEwen, after we take this final halftime break with the Huskies leading the Ramblers 7-3. Third quarter just moments away. What does Naperville North have in store for the second half? Let's find out from their coach, Larry McEwen, who is with our Joe Passion.
All right, thanks very much, Tom Stocker. Coach, tell us a little bit about what went on at halftime, adjustments that you need to make here in the second half.
Well, basically all we were trying to do offensively is to
try to get it straight what fronts they're showing us and make sure the kids are understanding their blocking. They've given us a lot of different fronts so far in the first half, and I think we're doing a pretty fair job of picking up, but we have to clean up some of it.
Can we expect to see some other interesting offensive play calls when the timing is right on your part in the second half?
Could be, when timing's right.
Okay, one other thing, defensively, kids really coming to the ball real hard. Everything going there the way you want it to?
I think defensively we're playing very tough. We've held them down inside the 20, and we were helped by a couple penalties down there, but you know, I'm proud of the way our defense is playing.
All right, have a great second half.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks very much, Larry McEwen. And one other quick note, here at halftime, guys, you may have seen it from upstairs. John Lafferty, the Loyola kicker, was out here practicing field goal attempts and was kicking with the wind to his back over 50-yard field goals through the uprights. Could come into play in the second half. Back upstairs, guys.
Well, Joe, during the week, Coach John Herster says the kicking game has been instrumental in Loyola's success this year. Lafferty had a 27-yard field goal for a 9-point lead over Homewood Flossmoor last week in the semis.
Well, you know, practicing at halftime with the wind is a lot different than practicing with 11 grunting, groaning Huskies up here coming right at your face to try and kick it under pressure. But again, he has the range, but there's a big difference when there's a little pressure in your face.
That's kind of like shooting warm-up baskets in basketball. It's a lot easier then. The pressure's not there. But there, as you see, where we are at, we're at Hancock Stadium on the campus of Illinois State University. Second half of our final championship game of this big football weekend. Coming up, as we will crown our 6A state champion by the time it's all over, with Naperville North right now holding the advantage going into the third quarter at 7-3. Jack, what do you expect for the second half? I thought at times both teams did play conservative because their defenses have been playing well. Do you expect more of the same?
Well, I really do expect more of the same. Both of these teams, you know, have gotten here with exactly what they're doing. To start trickery now, and I don't say that the Naperville's touchdown was trickery. It was just a good sound call because of the pursuit of Loyola. I think what's going to happen, as Larry mentioned, and of course John had mentioned earlier too, the blocking schemes up front are what makes a difference. Both teams do a good job up front, and it's a matter of if they're going to be able to control the offensive and defensive line of scrimmage.
So Brian Toll is into kickoff for the Huskies of Naperville North. They will kick it to Loyola, who will defend the goal to the left of your screen. Ryan Gallagher and Keith Herman are deep, with Gallagher back at about the 13. Line drive kick, and it's tipped back to Gallagher. And they'll get good field position, and he returned it out to the 37-yard line before finally making the stop for Naperville North was Joe Moore and Brian Toll, the kicker. Return of 19 yards on the play, and it's first down for Loyola at the 37. Tough young man right there, Ryan Gallagher.
He certainly is. And the other part that we mentioned too is, in a game like this, the game is not out of control that they need to resort to trickery at this point. It really is a game where, you know, it's only, you know, we're talking about 7-3, so it's still an even match.
And again, as you said, not to call Naperville's touchdown trickery. That's the kind of stuff they do.
That's the kind of stuff they do, and it was a good call based on what Loyola was doing defensively.
First down at the 37. Gallagher had a bit of equipment problem with his helmet. Thought we were going to see just for a moment what he was really made of. Maybe try to go with the proverbial helmet, which obviously would not be a good idea with the way these two teams can hit.
Show that he's a tough kid, but it would also show that he's not a real bright kid.
Yeah. I think they have to set the clock. There they go. The game clock was not reset at 12 minutes for the third quarter.
11:49.
And they need to move the clock down, run off 11 seconds because of the kickoff. And you see,
the clock's gone out here. It is 7-3,
that's
folks.
Right. And there is our end zone cameraman, who,
well, they had to get the clock keeper back from break at halftime. Must have went down for a sandwich.
Mark also shooting there from the end zone, but also keeping an eye out for any low-flying ducks in the meantime. What the heck, bag a few, takes them home for Christmas dinner.
It's quite a cannon he's got. He couldn't miss with that.
On first down, there's the sweep. Great job knifing through there was Mike Vakos to drop him back at about the 35-yard line, a loss of 2.
Notice with Loyola's offense, as we noticed in the first half, there's not a lot of deception to it. It's really, you know, smash mouth football. Here we come, and consequently, they're able to fast flow right to the football.
This year, Loyola has scored 29 points a game, which is rather high for a power type attack. But they have averaged 300 yards total offense a game and have won some pretty big margins there. Again, averaging 25 points for margin of victory. They're going to put it up. Ziv throwing it deep, and it's overthrown, intended for Scott Jones. He was defended by Brian Toll on the play. It's Lawlich putting it up deep.
Real good coverage. He tried a little play action fake there, and he's trying to catch him in a post route, but the corner wasn't going to flinch. You can see right here, just a little play action, but the corners were playing relatively deep. Ball's hung up, which allows the defender right here to make a good recovery.
Lawlich aired that out pretty good. Showed a good arm.
Good arm into a strong wind.
Under 11 minutes now. Third quarter action, 3rd and long. Is going to set up a screen. Ryan Gallagher to the short side of the field, and they throw that for a 2-yard loss. Conrad Gackey stumped up that screen pass. They had the blocking set up well, but Gackey knifed behind along with linebacker Greg Fike, and they lose 2 yards on the play.
You can see right here showing the fake up inside, but they'll have nothing to do with it. Well-coached team. They go right outside here. Corner takes on the wide receiver. Do a nice job of flying to the football.
So Lafferty into punt for the Ramblers with Firstino back deep. Firstino earlier this year had a 50-yard punt return for a touchdown against Bennett Academy. He calls for a fair catch this time and takes it at the 43-yard line as we go down to our sidelines in Joe Passion.
Well, you know, we talk so much about football players, but there's other areas that play a big role, like cheerleaders, like mascots. The mascot of the tournament is Buster, the Husky. And I want to show Buster has real claws. So I'm being very nice to her. She doesn't want to give up her name, but as long as I stay nice to her, she won't claw me. Back upstairs, fellas.
It's first down. And somebody missed an assignment on that pass route. Both Young and Gackey were running, but it looks like that was thrown for a post pattern. Neither one decided to run in that particular post pattern.
Well, that was a timing route from the standpoint of he knew he was going to the post, was his primary receiver, and he wanted to get it up there before he got out of range. Firstino's not a real deep threat, but if he gets it in the air, the receivers can run underneath it.
Firstino has shown signs of brilliance the last couple of years that Harry McKeown knew that he had something. He decided to put him at quarterback in the 4th game of the season on. Quick running play up the middle as Fowler is tripped up. Fowler trips up Charles Davenport at the 45-yard line. A gain of 3, bringing up 3rd and 7.
Well, Firstino is also an outstanding baseball player, which certainly does help when you play quarterback. And he's a very competitive athlete.
He is a 5'8", 150-pound junior. Come into the game having passed for over 1,300 yards and run for nearly 400 yards. 9.5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Naperville North leading 7-3 on the option pitch. Here is Gackey, and he hammers it to the 46-yard line. Jim O'Connor with the stop, but Naperville North picks up a big first down.
Take Firstino here right now with the option. Takes 2 steps. They come to him. It's a lead option. He's got a lead runner, and he just turns right up inside. Nice kick out block, and he picks up the first down.
Picked up a gain of 9. It'll set up 1st and 10 at the Rambler 46. Out of the run and shoot. That's Young going in motion. Davenport knifing off right tackle, and he plows to about the 43. Gets 3 yards. Ari Marinakis, defensive tackle, makes the stop for the Ramblers.
That's the key to a good option attack, is that you establish the fullback inside to keep those linebackers in tight so they're not scraping on the outside and take away the quarterback and the pitch man. And they don't look like big plays, but they're getting 3 and 4 yards at a crack inside, and that's what you need to do to establish the option on the outside.
And it also has a role in setting up other plays.
Like this one.
Right like that, they fake to the fullback, and Gankey brings it around, and he gets to the 40-yard line. As coming in there was Peter Gorman and Tom Goodwin to make the stop. Gorman, who plays in there at free safety behind Herman, was the first one to get to him.
Take a look at the fake right here with the option. Gankey actually runs outside the blocking zone. They're kicking everybody out, and he tried to run outside of a good job of pursuit by the Loyola defense.
Setting up 3rd and 4 with just over 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. This is Naperville's first possession of the second half. Under pressure is Firstino, flushed out of the pocket, throwing it up for grabs. Intercepted by Herman. Herman picked it off at the 11-yard line. John Wedding making the stop for the Naperville offense. But Loyola's defense takes it away deep in their own end.
Well, there's a lot of pressure put on Firstino, as we can see right here. He drops back. He wants to stay in. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's actually more of a threat when he runs on the outside, but again, he's not that much of a threat trying to throw the ball on the run, as you can see right here. It has the effect of a good punt, but they still had a drive going. They didn't want to give up possession, but Loyola's down in the hole now.
3rd interception thrown by Firstino. It's first down for the Ramblers. Banging off the left side, Ryan Gallagher, Mike Vakos with the stop. And looks like Greg Fike, the linebacker, is down and shaken up for Naperville North.
Interesting shot there in that last tackle. You saw 6 Naperville North Huskies on the ball, which shows you the kind of pursuit they have going to the football on defense.
And indeed, Fike, who missed the first 3 games of the year because of injuries, is down after that play. So far, 4 total turnovers in the game. Naperville now with 3. Loyola has turned it over once. But that was one time, obviously, hindsight being 20/20, but case when he was flushed out of the pocket and really broke up the play, should maybe just throw the ball away.
Well, true, but the thing is that, for example, with Loyola, they want to keep him in the pocket because of his size. They would rather keep him inside and put the pressure on him and not allow him to scramble. His forte is running with the football, so consequently you get a quick kid with that, like that, with the ball, and he gets outside, he can create problems.
As they continue to tend to Greg Fike, we will pause. We have 7:27 to go in the third quarter here in the 6A state championship game, as Naperville North leads Loyola 7-3. There you see Greg Fike, who was injured. Looked like he turned an ankle on that last play. It is 2nd down and 8 for the Loyola Ramblers at their own 13-yard line with 7:21 to go in the third quarter. That's Autry. Nice cutback over the 15 to about the 17. Picked up 4. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up. Vakos once again in there on the tackle. Let's go down and check with Joe Passion.
Well, as you can see down here on the sideline, Greg apparently has twisted his left ankle. One of the trainers here attending to him, just making sure that there's no broken bones or possibly anything pulled that can be seen or felt with the hands of the trainer. Greg feels he just twisted it. And when I ask him, are you going to get back in? He says, oh, yeah.
3rd down and 5. This is Gallagher, slowed down in the backfield and just is able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe pick up a yard, but it'll be 4th down, and Loyola will have to punt from deep in its own end.
Kind of interesting. Loyola runs an awful lot to their left, and most teams are right-handed. And consequently, the defense puts their best players on their left side because the offense will have a tendency to run more to the right. But Loyola has reversed that. They run an awful lot to their left.
So Lafferty will await the snap, just gets it a low snap, and he shanked it. It's off the side of his foot. And it's down to the 2-yard line. Who came up with it? Chris Flynn came up with it. Flynn came up with it. I don't know whether it was blocked or he just flat missed the football.
It looked like, I hope we have a replay on that, it looked like it was blocked because it took him a long time to get that off.
It was only a 12-yard punt. Chris Flynn, offensive lineman, linebacker, and they have it at the 2-yard line.
Let's take a look right here. No, it was shanked. He's probably hoping we didn't have a replay of that.
So it's first and goal for the Huskies at the 2. There is Young. That's touchdown.
Loyola was short a man, came running out at the last second out of the field. I think that quick turnover caught somebody sitting on the bench not thinking about having a turnover and going to defense right away.
It comes with 5:38 to go in the third quarter. As Brennan Young picks up his 9th rushing touchdown of the season, his 10th overall. And here to kick the point after is Toll. And Naperville North takes a 14-3 lead with just over 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, taking advantage of that shanked Loyola punt. So it happened in a hurry. First, let's take a look at the shank punt.
Well, you know, didn't Buford do this a couple years ago in the playoffs? So obviously a high school player can do it too. Just a shank. I mean, I've done that once in a while with my 7-iron.
Remember, I can do it with more clubs than that. And then that's set up from the 2-yard line. Nice inside move by Young.
Just a power toss right here. Just a good job of finding a hole and sneaking up inside for the 6 points.
I remember what was either in the USFL or in the NFL. I believe it was a New York or New Jersey punter just flat missed it as he dropped into a gust of wind, blew it off his foot, away from his foot.
I saw that tape. But Buford also, I think, just missed one not too many years ago.
Bears can do a lot of things.
Yes, they can.
5.5 minutes to go. Here is the kick taken by Herman. Herman tripped up coming downfield for the good special teams tackle was Joe Moore. And he is one happy camper for the Huskies.
Good job. Special teams play such a very important role in high school football as far as kickoff teams and punt teams, because they set the tempo and they very certainly set the field position when it comes to kickoffs and punts. And sometimes kids don't realize the value of special team play. We try to emphasize it as coaches, and there was a perfect example of it.
Well, when a lot of things are equal, offenses, defenses, something has to give, and usually special teams is many a times where the difference is.
Well, it gives an opportunity for other kids to play also, and so hopefully they take advantage of it and really hustle to get down there and make the big plays.
Some of us were told there was nothing special about the way we played. First down from the 21-yard line up to the 23-yard line. Hard driving in there, Ryan Gallagher, and he came bouncing out of the pile. Body's beginning to fly a little harder right now with under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Brown making the stop.
It's been a very physical game, played by two very tough football teams that are very well coached. There's a good shot of John Herster looking up at the clock. And then Larry with his brain trust. No, that's not Larry there. That's assistant coaches from Naperville.
Well, let's face it, before the season, few figured either of these teams would make it here for the final.
It's a reverse.
Oh, it comes right back on the reverse to Scott Jones, and he is able to get it up to the 30-yard line and pick up 6 yards. Nearly disaster as he fumbled the handoff on that reverse, but it bounced right off the artificial surface right back to him. Brown and Gackey make the stop.
Again, a good call by John Herster, because you can see right there the pursuit of Naperville North, and just did a good job to react back to the ball, but again, trying to slow him down. Just running that play, even though they got 6 yards, could slow down the backside.
Big 3rd and 1 here for the Ramblers. Toss goes to Taylor, and looks like he gets the first down. He got it up a little bit beyond the 31-yard line. Mike Vakos makes the stop, but just a hair too late. And it's a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 for Loyola as they trail 14-3. The Naperville defense, which has lived in the shadow of its run-and-shoot offense, has done the job so far today, holding Loyola to just the field goal so far as they measure. And it is a first down.
It's really been a combination of the secondary and the linebackers of Naperville, because the offensive line of Loyola has done a nice job. By the time those backs get there, those linebackers are filling, and so are the defensive backs.
From the 32, it's 1st and 10. sometimes when you run a 4-4-3 defense, you become a little vulnerable to the pass. There's pressure as Loyola is able to roll out and skips the pass incomplete at the 47-yard line, intended for Schweiger, and he was covered on the play by Ken Kim.
Well, you know, you're right on that particular, and there's Larry making a comment to his defense, but you're vulnerable to the pass, but the pressure that can be put up front by those 4 down linemen as well as those linebackers can result in what we just saw. Pressure on the quarterback to scramble, and he doesn't get his feet under him to make a good throw.
But if the linebackers in the secondary are doing the job, then obviously the credit has to go to the guys up in the trenches.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 10. That's Jarrett Romanski, the fullback, and he heads out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Chasing him out of bounds was Sean Shear, the linebacker. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Ramblers, as they are really having to work hard on this drive and most of their drives this afternoon.
They really are. They really haven't had a big play or any long gainers. They've had to plug away and nickel dime to stay in this ball game.
There's Dan Siemens, 74, anchoring the inside. There's Zev Lalich. Here's a big 3rd and 4 coming up for Loyola. There's the power sweep, cutting it back inside was Autry, but he is a couple of yards shy as he gets only to the 40-yard line. A big hit by Mike Vakos. It'll bring up 4th and 2 for the Ramblers with 3:08 to go in the 3rd quarter.
This offense almost plays into the hands of Naperville's defense because, as you had mentioned, this type of defense can be vulnerable to the pass, but by Loyola's formation with the power I and only splitting one end, Naperville plays man coverage, and that allows the other 10 people to play inside against the run. And so consequently, this kind of an offensive formation really does play into the hands of this defense.
They gave Autry a pretty good spot, but still it's going to be a couple of feet shy, bringing up 4th and 1 for Loyola. The Husky defenders looking to their side of the field, getting the fans up and going. The Ramblers looking to their side of the field, doing likewise. Here is a big play on 4th and 1 for the Ramblers. Lalich sending Drake off the lone wide out to the right side. There's the power backfield. Gallagher, it's going to be close. I don't think he made it. Who made the great one-on-one tackle? Ken Kim came in there and stopped him, but it's going to be very close. Will they even measure?
I'm sure out of courtesy on that one, they will have to measure, but that is really close.
So they'll bring in the chains. Naperville says, hey, signal 1st down our way.
They got it.
They got it by half the football.
They're living dangerously.
Wow.
Early.
They got the benefit of the spot as they gave him the progress up just beyond the 41-yard line, and it's 1st down on this crucial drive for Loyola. 2.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 14-3, Naperville North leads.
Reverse.
The toss, the reverse. Here's a flea flicker. Lalich going deep, overthrown, looking for Murphy on a fly pattern down the far sidelines. Mike Logan, the defender on the play.
They go to trickery. They go to trickery.
I think everybody touched it except the tuba player up there in the 4th row.
And the ball was almost thrown up to him.
Yeah. 2nd and 10 at the 42.
This, again, a play like this does loosen up the defense. Even though it was incomplete, now they're a little leery of those type of things, and they'll possibly play soft for a few plays just because they're concerned about plays like that.
John Herster with everybody out there except for the one wide out wide on the left side. The power I backfield. Lalich off the play action, rolls out. And now he's going to run. Hit hard out of bounds near side of the 47-yard line. Chris Flynn chasing him out. Also over there was the cornerback Ken Kim. And Vakos was also there. He's usually there about every time. And Conrad Gackey as well. Good pursuit, obviously, by the Naperville North defense. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 from the 47-yard line.
Interesting, earlier in the playoffs that Naperville North had to knock off another Catholic League team in St. Rita in the quarterfinals.
How about the Catholic League and the DuPage family with a host of teams in the quarterfinals and higher. Wallach rolls out, going deep down the sideline. One man there, and penalty markers are thrown. It is incomplete. Logan came up with the football. They were looking for Scott Jones.
It'll be tough to tell there for us who they're calling, offense or defense. But from the looks of it, they're calling defensive pass interference.
Looks like they both hit Jones, maybe, just a hair before the ball came in there to the whole host of bodies.
That's what it is.
Preliminary signal pass interference against.
Right there. Right there's your interference, pushing off right at that point right there.
And not playing the ball either.
That's great, which is called face guarding. I thought he had it there for a second.
Well, it landed on his body.
Still has it.
Yeah, until there.
But that, again, that's a big play right there for Loyola.
15 yards and an automatic first down. Came on a 3rd and 5 play. The ball now to Naperville North, 38.
It shows, too, that Lalich can throw the football.
Defensive pass interference, blue, automatic first down.
And he's not gun shy.
No, he's got a strong arm. I mean, he threw that ball about 40 yards in the air against a slight crosswind.
2:01 to go in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 at the 38 of Naperville North. Gallagher hits hard into the line and gets only a yard to the 37. Sean Shear on the stop. By the way, that pass interference call against the Huskies, the first penalty to Naperville North in this game.
That really tells you something about the discipline of that team. And, of course, it has a lot to do with where we are as far as score is concerned, 14-3 in favor of Naperville, because those early penalties wiped out some scoring opportunities for Loyola.
2nd and 9. Romansky, Gallagher, and Autry are in the backfield. Check that. That's Taylor going in motion. And it's Romansky slamming straight ahead. Gets 2 yards to the 35-yard line, setting up a 3rd and long. Boy, it has been nothing but hard work for Loyola and a little bit of luck with that pass interference call on this drive. On that stop, Carlson and Venkos. There's Romansky's numbers on the season with 9 touchdowns, gaining over 400 yards this season.
They play tough football in the Catholic League, and it's nothing real fancy. It's usually in the trenches and just kind of run right at you, and that's exactly what they're doing here.
Now, there's an interesting call, 3rd and 8. Again, the lone wideout, a full house backfield, a toss to Gallagher. He's trying to cut back. Oh, as he stood up hard by Flynn at the 35-yard line, and a penalty marker goes down late.
He ran into the only guy that was left on the backside. Had he gotten around on the outside of him, he had 6 points.
Flynn with a nice one-on-one tackle, and then as the hit was made, we had a clipping penalty called against the Ramblers.
You see the flow here. Now he cuts back. He cuts back against the grain, and Flynn is the only man left, and he runs right into him.
That's the epitome of staying home.
That certainly is.
You hear coaches talking about you got to stay home. That's exactly what he did.
Decline, 4th down.
They declined the penalty to bring up 4th down. It'll be 4th and 7 at the 35. And really, even though we're late in the 3rd quarter, down by 2 scores, Loyola has no choice, and they call a timeout. They take one of their 3 second-half timeouts to talk it over on this big call on 4th down and 7.
They really have, as we mentioned, been stymied by Naperville's defense, and the fact, again, that this type of defense is really helped out by the type of formations that Loyola runs. They're in with a tight end. They only have 1 wide receiver out. You can match up man-to-man, which means you can leave those other 10, especially when you're in a power eye, keep those other 10 inside. Occasionally, Loyola does run that power back into motion, which gives you your 2 receiver set, but they really haven't gone to him enough to force Naperville to break out of that defense.
I think that's a concession to, they realize they need that extra man to stay back in the backfield to provide some lead blocking.
Well, there's no doubt about that, because Naperville has done a nice job pressuring the quarterback when he has gone back to pass.
But you're right, I'm surprised that was in my mind as well, talking about more motion to try to loosen up that Naperville defense a little bit.
Of course, you have to remember, too, Naperville's played against an awful lot of teams that are not that don't run out of these formations, but run out of more open sets, so they can adjust to those if, in fact, Loyola does go to those.
Impressive season for Naperville North. How about that 24-0 shutout of Glenbard North early in the season?
Last year's runner-up in the championship game. But I think a key game there was their win against Naperville Central in the playoffs after having lost in the regular season in Naperville.
They lost 28-23 in the regular season, and then in the quarterfinals, they beat them 31-28. They had them packed to the rafters in Naperville for that game. 4th down and 7.
There's the motion we spoke of.
And a penalty marker has been thrown on the play. They were looking for Dracoff. Brian Toll came in there, and maybe a late flag, but they did throw the penalty marker.
I think it looked like it was a good call. There was contact just prior to him making contact with the ball.
Looks like he came around from behind and came across the arms just before the arms came in. We'll take a look.
Take a look at his hand, but watch his shoulder. His shoulder coming into the back of the receiver right in there. His arm's going across, but his body is making contact prior to his hand hitting the football.
And also had his right hand down low, kind of holding him down along the waist.
Good call. Good call by the
Pass interference, blue. Automatic first down.
That's 2 on this drive. Both have kept this drive going. This drive began back at the Rambler 21-yard line. We have just 28 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Play action fake by Lolich, rolling out to the short side. It's tipped in the air and intercepted. Intercepted by the Huskies' Brian Toll at the 9-yard line.
Lowell's trying to make something happen here, forces the ball, and this is difficult. You're down inside the 20. You can see right here. It's a sprint out. He wants to put it away, but he's forced, and he tries to make something happen going to the short back. And what happens here is he loses possession. That was a first down play. Take the loss. You still have the ball down in red territory. But, you know, high school kids, he's trying to make something happen and forces the interception. Here's a good shot of John talking with his defensive coordinator here.
That is the 2nd interception thrown by Lolich. 5 turnovers now combined for these 2 teams. It's Naperville North 1st and 10. And it's out to the 15-yard line. Hammering it out there was Conrad Kaki. Tim Fowler, inside linebacker, makes the stop as we will run out the 3rd quarter. And now with Naperville leading 14-3, you know they're going to keep the ball on the ground. And there is the end of quarter number 3. A big defensive takeaway and the interception by the Husky defense. And Naperville with the ball, leading with 1 quarter to go. There is Husky free safety Brian Toll still basking in the glow of that interception that has set up his offense and giving them the ball to start this 4th quarter with the Huskies leading Loyola 14-3. 1 quarter left for the 6A championship. 2nd down from the 15, and whistle stop this play just as it gets started. We have not had a lot of penalties in this game, and very few. In fact, that may be the first motion penalty we've had.
I think it's only the 2nd one.
Dead ball foul. Movement offensive line. 1st and 15.
Naperville's been very low in penalty yards in this ball game, but down in this territory, you certainly don't want to have any penalties like that.
It'll be 2nd down and a long 8. Back at the 10-yard line, there's the score. We're just underway in the 4th quarter. They send Young in motion. They come back with a counter play, and that looked to be Gacky with O'Connor making the stop for the Ramblers. There's tackle Ari Marinakis heading out, and Ed Marut will take over behind him at the defensive tackle spot.
Good shot of John Hurst with their action starting to mount as we clock winds down in the 4th quarter.
Jim O'Connor there anchoring the defense. It's 3rd down play, and Young dropped back at the 6-yard line by John Dwyer.
Dangerous place to be pitching the ball.
It'll be 4th down coming up.
He really does not stretch out the defense right here. He could have gone a little further. They had the angles all the way on Young.
The lead blocker really didn't have Dwyer engaged.
No,
in
he
the
didn't.
block. 4th down and Jensick back to punt. And he will take the snap just inside the goal line. It's good hang time on it. And they'll let it bounce. It strikes a Naperville defender at the 34-yard line. And that's where Loyola will take it over with outstanding field position. So chalk went up for the Loyola defense. That was a 27-yard punt, by the way. And the Ramblers, far from being out of it. They are down 14-3, but 10 minutes, 41 seconds remain, and a quick score here. They're very much alive. Loyola Academy, take a look. First quarter drive, they stalled at the 10-yard line and lost 22 yards because of back-to-back penalties. And a block punt by Chris Flynn, setting up a Naperville North touchdown. And that is where the score is right now at 14-3. With lots of time left here in this 4th quarter. 1st and 10 for the Ramblers at the Husky 33. Autry gives it to Jones. He is hit but a twist down to the 30-yard line. All that for a 3-yard gain. First hit by Conrad Gacke, who stayed home and made the good stop. 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line will be the situation now for the Ramblers. Boy, nothing has come easy for them against this Naperville defense.
They really haven't. But anytime you have your quarterback being your lead blocker on a reverse, it's kind of iffy if it's going to go. Lalich made an initial block but wasn't able to sustain it.
Under 10 minutes now. There's Autry, had some good blocking. Driving to the 37, Mike Venkos, the first Husky to get to him defensively. Gain of 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 3 upcoming for Loyola. This is a make it or break it drive right here. They got the ball in great shape.
They definitely have to score on this particular drive with the amount of time left on the clock. And for the amount of opportunities they have had and have hurt themselves, they must score here.
At times, their offense, they have been their own worst enemy. Penalties in the first half, turnovers in the second half. 3rd and 3. Straight up the gut for Autry. It's going to be close. He is given progress to the 24. It might be 4th down. Mike Venkos making the stop. And they wanted him to be involved defensively, and he has been all day long, along with Gacke and Shearer. They're going to have to measure. Boy, Loyola has been living on the edge.
They really have. They've had more plays today where they have gone for it on 4th down, whether it be in their territory or out of their territory, just because they want to sustain drives and get the ball in better field position. And here, field position isn't the key anymore. It's being able to get down there and score and conserve some time on the clock.
They are definitely short by at least a couple of feet, maybe a yard. It will be 4th and 1 for the Ramblers. The Huskies trying to get their crowd fired up. They're standing across the way on the Loyola side here at Hancock Stadium, and it's 4th and 1, 9:06 to go, 4th quarter. Naperville leading 14-3. Good blocking up front, and he gets the first down to the 23-yard line. Great drive by that offensive line right in the middle. Loftus, Camastro, and Perrone. So this drive gets a new set of downs.
Naperville North really defensively is forcing them to go away from the power I look from the standpoint of run away from it, even though they show it in one direction, because they are stemming, sliding their defensive linemen to that side, and taking an extra linebacker to match up against the eye.
The give is to Autry to the 20-yard line, a gain of 2 yards. Of course, what this is also doing, as they keep it on the ground, is eating up a lot of valuable time.
Sure is.
We're coming close to the 8-minute mark, and they need 2 scores. Obviously, the Ramblers hoping they can cash in, get 7 here, and let their defense hold Naperville to 3 downs and a punt and get the ball back in good shape.
Well, so far the scenario has been Naperville's offense has been a little more potent than the Ramblers.
2nd and 8 from the 20. Wallace throwing in. It is caught. A diving catch by Dracoff at the 10-yard line.
Big play.
Covered by Logan, who did everything he could, but a heck of an effort by Dracoff just to get to the ball.
See the setup here. He's looking at him the whole time. He's going for that first down. Kind of underthrows the ball, but an outstanding catch right there for the big first down.
I mean, he had only one chance.
Great catch.
Nothing more Logan can do. It's 1st and goal. The play strung out. Finally driven out of bounds was Adrian Autry at about the 8-yard line. Defensive end Chris Flynn ran him off the sidelines, bringing up 2nd and goal. Coming close to the 7-minute mark now in the 4th quarter.
Now, you know, in our halftime interview, they talked about officials. They weren't getting enough young ones, but I think this is getting a little much here.
They're learning at a young age.
They certainly are. I wouldn't want to debate with those kids on a interference call.
2nd goal from the 7. The toss goes to Taylor, and he's knocked down back at the 12-yard line by the cornerback Mike Logan. A loss of 5 yards.
Didn't get much help out there on that toss. He was out there by himself on the corner. You can see right here he's coming back in motion. It's just tossing away from the strength. And he's really one-on-one, and he's just running east and west. You can't get those shoulders turned upfield. You're not going to go anywhere. Nice play by the corner.
Logan called an overachiever by Coach McEwen. 5'9" senior with a big hit there, bringing up 3rd and goal back at the 12-yard line. That's Taylor in motion. And Lalich wants to throw. Looking for the corner.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. The catch made by Greg Taylor. He had to come back to the football. A 12-yard touchdown reception. Lalich with his 6th passing touchdown of the season.
Well, he's going to go for 2 here because then a field goal can tie it.
They're going to go for 2 as they go out of the full house team back to the Power Arne. Gallagher
He's got him open.
throwing. It's good for 2. Jack Schweiger gets the 2-point conversion. And it is now 14-11 with 6.5 minutes to go.
It's heating up in Normal.
How about that? A little option play for the Ramblers after Loyola did so likewise. We have a penalty marker down on the play. It looks to be against Naperville North. Looks to be unsportsmanlike conduct. Let's watch the touchdown first of all.
He really sits in here and waits. It's an out and up route, and you can see right here he pump fakes, throws the ball up in the air, and again this comes back for the football. Nice catch. Underthrown, but a nice catch. And here is the big play right here. Runs the toss, hoping to get the corner coming up, which he does. He just drops back and just lays it right over the top of the tight end. 2 points. Now that sets up the scenario for the field goal, which could tie the ball game up if they get the ball back.
Boy, look at that. 66 yards in 9 plays, taking a quick 4 minutes and 11 seconds.
The problem is right here, as you can see, Loyola getting that penalty really hurts them because Naperville is going to wind up in real good field position.
6.5 action-packed minutes left to go. That score has put the Ramblers right back in it. They trail by 3, and here comes the kick by John Lafferty. Young retreats to the 15 and now turns it upfield. Still on his feet. Good return to the 37-yard line. Jim O'Connor with the stop A heck of a return for Brennan Young, who had his momentum going the opposite way and still was able to bring that football back 23 yards.
Well, it's a heck of a run, but it's also a better kick because they had a penalty and they kicked that ball from the 20, not from the 40. And nice run back to get, again, good field position here for Naperville. They're up by 3 with 6 minutes left.
Remember Naperville in that big 8-minute drive in the semis against Waubonsee Valley. Running play right up the middle. Up to the 42-yard line as O'Connor stops Davenport. Davenport getting 6 yards to the 42, bringing it 2nd down and 4. Can Naperville do that again? Can they eat up the clock?
They certainly have the type of offense that can do it.
2nd and 4 from the 42. Again, Davenport, nothing fancy, twisting and driving his way to the 47, 48-yard line. Jim Tomaska had a grab of Davenport, but Davenport drove for a couple of extra yards and a 1st down for Naperville. And as they move the ball out, obviously, if they do wind up having to pump the football, Loyola will get it much deeper in their own end.
Everything right now looks as if it's favoring Naperville.
5:10 left to go. 1st down. Young in motion, and he gets the toss. Lost the football. It's loose at the 44, and the battle is on. He was driving for extra yardage, Brennan Young, and he coughed up the ball, and now they'll have to untangle the bodies. And still no indication yet, but apparently it's going to be Naperville's ball, I believe.
Yes, I tell you what, Larry took a hard swallow on that one.
Whew. Gain of 3. Looks like Young came back up with his own fumble. It's at the 45. 2nd down and 7. Make it. Check that. 2nd down 3 yards ago after the gain of 7 yards. Under 4.5 minutes now for the 4th quarter. Davenport, good blocking up the middle, had a hole, and drives to about the 40. Jim O'Connor again coming up to make the stop, teaming up with John Dwyer. But credit that offensive line of Steve Drysdale, Mike Andler, Dave Murtis, Ryan Carpenter, and Jim Talone with just powering out and getting room for Davenport to work.
It's one of those situations where they're controlling the ball, which they're certainly very capable of doing, and Loyola so desperately wants to get that football back.
And they can't get it back. Another 1st down. The drive keeps going for the Huskies.
I would think that Naperville wouldn't do anything real fancy as far as pitching the ball on the option. They might run the option, but I would be surprised if they were to pitch it.
There's that inside move going to Conrad Gackey. He gets only a yard to the 40. Bo Deschereaux, outside linebacker, a 6'5" senior and a 2-year starter, who also plays basketball for the Ramblers, made the stop.
That's an interesting.
Words cannot express. Or
Well, I certainly hope that he got a warranty or some sort of a refund.
Or he better hope the 2 sides roll back out. 3:17 left to go. 2nd and 9. Davenport to the 32-yard line. He picked up 9. Another hole to work with off the right side. Jeremy Lyons finally put on the brakes for Loyola. But it's going to be 2nd and short for Naperville, and they may be driving for a touchdown to ice up this game.
Well, compliments go to the offensive line coach for Naperville because this is an entirely new offensive line from last year. And they certainly are controlling the ball and controlling Loyola's defense at this point.
Well, both teams, frankly, thought they were a year away from really having solid teams, and they lined up both here in the 6A finals. Young tripped up in the backfield by Tom Goodwin, who came in on the blitz and upended him. They give him progress to the 31. It's going to be close for the 1st down marker.
You can see right here, it's a corner stunt. He just comes firing up inside and trips him up about, I think, about a yard short of the 1st down.
They will bring in the sticks all the way across. The clock stopped with 2 minutes and 27 seconds remaining. It is a 14-11 lead for Naperville North.
It's short.
It will be third and less than a yard. As you see Davenport signal to his bench just how much they have to get. This would be a big first down. Loyola's defense going to reach down inside to see what they can do here in Naperville. This might be the play of the season right here. Loyola has just 2 timeouts remaining. Naperville, just for the record, has all 3 left of theirs.
Oh, they got the first down right
They got
there.
the first down. Paul Panacali, the nose guard, jumped early into the neutral zone, and they get the first down free of charge.
That could be the key play right there, and this is a defensive coach's nightmare. He's right over the football. He's listening to cadence right there. You can see in high school football, you break the plane, it's an automatic 5-yard penalty. He's right on the ball there, and he's offside.
Let's go down to the sidelines and Joe Passion.
Some interesting stats, fellows, to think about. If Naperville holds on and wins this game, this would be the first year ever since the IHSA moved to a state playoff format that every championship category classification has been won by a public school. It's never happened before. On top of that, Mather defeated Brother Rice for the Chicago Prep League. So this apparently is not being a very good year for the Catholics. Back upstairs.
Running play up the middle on first down as they get it to the 23. And a timeout taken by the Ramblers. And we will take a break. We have 1:55 left in the 6A state championship game as Naperville North with the ball leading by 3. Tom Stalker, Jack McInerney, Joe Passion with you. 1:55 remaining. 14-11 is the score with the Huskies leading by 3. And that is all that separates them from their first ever state football title and a chance for a big day for the DuPage Valley Conference. 2nd and 7 from the Rambler 23. Keeping it is 1st and 0.
As I mentioned, I doubted that they would pitch the ball, but they ran the option, and there's 1st and 0. We talked about him before. He's got great quickness.
23 yards on the touchdown. His 10th rushing touchdown of the year. And with 1:49 to go, it's now a 9-point lead for the Huskies.
He never had any intention of pitching this ball. You watch the fake right here, the ride. But notice how he puts it away right now. There was never a consideration to pitch the ball at this point. And there's that quickness.
So in to kick the point after, Brian Toll. Brennan Young will spot the ball. It is good. And a 10-point Naperville lead with 1:49 to go in the 4th quarter. And that was one heck of a final drive. As Loyola had put themselves back in the game with that touchdown, trailing by 3, needing only a field goal at a time, maybe force another overtime game today, but that was one magnificent drive for Naperville North.
It really was. Larry McEwen doing an excellent job of play calling, mixing it up, taking advantage of what Loyola was giving him, but more than that, it was a combination of the offensive line and Davenport running between the tackles to pick up those 1st downs throughout that drive that made it possible. There's a very quiet, disconsolate. What's that word?
Disconsolate.
Thank you. I was absent that day. We went through that. It's going to be a long ride back up to the north side.
It may feel just a little cold over there now than it did to start the game.
Is that Jackson? Is that the Bulls coach right there?
I don't know.
Upper left hand, see him?
Got a quick flight
White hat? I think that is. Huh? Well, I think that is.
Here is the kick. Bouncing ball taken by an up man. Oh, a chance almost for that youngster to go all the way. That was taken by, believe it was Romanowski.
You got a flag down also.
John Houston making the tackle for Naperville. A penalty marker is down, and looks like it's going to go against Loyola, though they have it in great field position, obviously. 1:43 to go, but they need 2 scores to take the lead, a touchdown and a field goal to tie, and time may be running out. We want to take an opportunity that good friend that has been at my side for the last 3 years here on the telecasts for the 2A, 4A, and 6A. Bill Gorley, battling an illness right now and has taken some time off. Clipping is the call, and we want to send all our best from the whole Sports Channel crew down here to Bill and hope for a speedy recovery. And my thanks to Steve Mays and for Jack for doing double duty today. Ziv Lalich is going to throw out of the shotgun, and he overthrows Taylor on the far side of the field. Besides, usually Bill buys dinner on Friday night, and I had to pay for my own last night. Boy, oh boy. Tough times. 1:36 to go. Loyola down by 10.
Well, you know us teachers, that's why you see these brown bags here all down my feet. My wife made my lunch and breakfast and dinner, you know.
Lalich again throwing. Caught over the middle. Big target there. Bill Dracoff hauled it in, and Sean Scheer brought it down. He may have been throwing, I thought he may have been throwing to Schweiger, but Dracoff was downfield over the middle, and he caught the bullet.
Well, we got a flag down again.
This one way back in what was the Loyola backfield.
And it's going to be against Naperville. It's quite a good crowd here from Naperville.
Third place they finished in the DuPage Valley Conference.
Hard to believe. But not really. If you've seen the caliber of play in the DuPage Valley, they just have some outstanding football played there. Every school, and this year was really a dogfight.
They lost in the regular season to a team that won the 5A title in just a legendary game earlier today in 5A, beating Joliet Catholic, that being Wheaton Warrenville South. It'll be a first down for Loyola with 1:27 to go. The ball is at the 45 of Naperville.
We have personal foul, roughing the passer, automatic first down.
Automatic first down and 15 yards from where the foul occurred, and so it's at the 45. And again, Lalich out of the shotgun. Throwing it down for Gallagher. Intercepted by Logan. Logan broke to the ball well and intercepted, and that should do it for the Huskies. Only 1:17 remaining.
Nice job. He's sitting in a cover 2, which is 2 safeties sitting deep. The ball was hung up in the air, and he made the break on the ball. Did a nice job of intercepting it. It looks like the ball game. He just lays it up right here, and the longer it's thrown up against the cover 2, you can see both safeties converging on the football right there. It really never had a chance for success. And now Naperville will run out the clock.
Disappointed Ziv Lalich. Tough way to end the season, losing in the state championship game, but boy, the accomplishments that young man has had this season obviously are disappointed, but when you have time and you reflect back on what was the whole season, a heck of a year for that senior quarterback who was a B-team quarterback when he was a freshman.
It's amazing for all of you students out there that are freshmen and sophomores, and you think you'll never have an opportunity to play. That's a perfect example of what can happen.
Was the understudy last year to Peter Patton, who's now at DePaul and is on the basketball team there for the Blue Demons. Delay of game penalty as they brought the play clock all the way down. Only 49 seconds remaining.
Blue. First down.
Delay a game, and it's 1st and 15 now, but I guarantee you First and 0 will likely just take it and go down to one knee. Exactly what he does. Extend our thanks to some great people at the IHSA we worked with all through the year. David Fry, executive director, who was in charge of excitement today because I asked him, and he said he was. Don Robinson, Assistant Executive Director, and the staff, Jim Flynn, Ola Bundy, Marty Hickman, and Sue Hendrickson. All from the IHSA office. I've worked with state associations across the country, California and Tennessee and Mississippi and others, and there's no doubt IHSA is the best. They set a high standard for those across the country. And this extensive television package from Sports Channel is just one example.
We've had a great weekend of high school football down in Bloomington Normal, played by some outstanding teams. We've had outstanding crowds the whole time. It's been a great weekend.
I'll tell you what, Dave Berkson, our stat man, who's been standing behind here in our small little booth, who has done statistics on all 6 games, has just done a tremendous job. Not the easiest of conditions to work with here in this crowded booth. We have a cast of thousands up there, but Dave has just been right on the numbers all weekend long.
This booth is like out of Animal Crackers with Groucho and the Marx Brothers. Again, running the clock out, running it down here. It's been a great season for both teams. And Naperville North is going to walk out of here with the 6A state championship.
9 seconds left, and that'll do it. It's all over. And the Huskies of Naperville North will bring the 6A championship back to the DuPage Valley Conference on the same day that Wheaton Warrenville South brought the 5A state championship trophy.
Please remain in your seats. The award ceremony will take place momentarily.
Just one heck of a season. 2 losses on the regular year, and what a march to the finals. And they pull off a big victory here this afternoon. 2 great programs. Let's go down to the sidelines. And Joe Passion.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. Thanks for coming over here. Congratulations. A great win. It seemed like a couple of big plays really opened things up of a tight game.
Well, I thought Ryan Firstenow did a great job down here to score the last touchdown, kind of seal it for us. I'm real proud of the kids. They did a great job.
You know, this program just keeps growing and growing every year. You've come very close in the late 80s. All of a sudden, things turn around here in the early 90s. What turned it around?
Well, I'll tell you, we've got some great coaches. Stan Greschka, our offensive line coach, John Jackson, Tom Vargas, Carl Hunkler, the whole staff. We just have an unbelievable staff, and they work real hard.
What does it mean for you?
It's the greatest.
All right, congratulations, Larry. Larry McEwen, as you can understand, extremely happy, going to celebrate with his kids and his coaches as Naperville North wins this one 21-11 to capture the 6A Illinois High School Football Championship. Back upstairs now to Tom and Jack.
Don't go away. We've got lots more coming your way to wrap up this big weekend of championship football as our coverage on Sports Channel continues.
Naperville North celebrating its Class 6A football championship here from Hancock Stadium as they knock off the Loyola Academy Ramblers by 10, 21-11, the final score. As we mentioned earlier, not only is this the first year ever since the Illinois High School Association has had state playoff format, has no parochial school won a state championship, but this is also a very big day for the DuPage Valley Conference. The first time ever that 2 teams from the same conference have won a state championship. Of course, Wheaton Warrenville South winning the Class 5A championship earlier today in a double overtime thriller over Joliet Catholic Academy. And now this Naperville North team winning here over Loyola Academy 21-11 to capture the 6A team. And this is a Naperville North team that, as Tom mentioned during the telecast, had finished 3rd in the DuPage Valley Conference. Talk about a great football conference. Of course, Naperville North and Naperville Central being a part of that, along with Wheaton Warrenville South. And this has been a great celebration day for the Chicago area schools. And in a moment, we'll have the trophy presentations to give out for Class 6A. So let's send it back up to our PA announcer, and Steve Adams will bring the trophies home for you.
Individual and team awards. Making the presentations will be members of the Illinois High School Association Board of Directors and administrative staff. Presenting the awards for the Class 6A championship game are Board of Directors and staff members Ms. Linda Lane, Vice President of the Board of Chicago Fenger High School, and Mr. Don Robinson, Associate Executive Director of the Illinois High School Association. And now will Principal Father Bernard Bouillette, Coach John Herster, and the captains of runner-up Loyola please join the presenters on the awards platform. And now this special medallion is presented to Principal Father Bouillette, and the individual awards will be presented to Coach Herster and his team captains by Ms. Lane. And now the second place trophy will be presented to the Ramblers of Loyola of Wilmette, who finished the season with a final record of 12-2. Presenting the trophy is Ms. Lane. Congratulations to the Loyola Ramblers, the second place finisher in Class 6A.
So there, the Class 6A runner-up trophy goes back home to Wilmette, the Loyola Academy campus. John Herster with a great program that he has established up there.
And the captains of state
well, they really had a great year, and they brought it one step further. They've been in the state semifinals the last 2 years, and now they came one step further, getting down here to the championship game. Who knows what the future holds for them?
Obviously, they made it to the state final game, but in the wake of the bitter disappointments in the semifinals, it may be even more exasperating to come all the way down here and to come up short yet once again. But obviously, their program established as one of the strongest in the Chicago area.
Absolutely. I'd rather be here playing for it than being at home.
And the ironic thing with only 4 starters back, a lot of folks wrote them off, and few figured that these Huskies would be here either, here in the final game with the tough competition they had to battle all season long. And maybe some of the previous teams that Coach McEwen has had in other years might have been more talented. He's had some teams make it to the semifinals, and 87 and 88. But this team seemed to have a lot more heart.
This special medallion is presented to Principal Cameron, and the individual awards will be presented to Coach McEwen and his team captains by Mr. Robinson.
That's Mike Vakos getting the medal right there, and won't be surprised if we see him on Sports Channel's coverage of the IHSA wrestling finals come February. He's the defending champ at 189 pounds. There's Charles Davenport. His IHSA Assistant Executive Director Don Robinson hands out the medals to the state champions in 6A from Naperville North.
Well, they played a great playoff series to get here. They've knocked off number 2 ranked Waubonsie Valley last week, who was undefeated, to get down to this game. They did a great job, and they certainly do deserve this trophy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this year's state championship Class 6A team trophy will be presented to the Huskies of Naperville North, who finished the season at 12-2.
And there goes the trophy.
Presents the trophy. Congratulations to the Huskies of Naperville North, state champions in Class 6A.
The second state championship for the DuPage Valley Conference today here at Hancock Stadium.
As the
Huskies
the Illinois High School Association thanks you for joining the team here at
21-11 victory here in Class 6A.
You have enjoyed your visit
going back, Jack, talking about Naperville, we talked about how their offense earlier, of course, the run and shoot, but I think you have to take a look at the Huskies' defense for the reason why they're taking home the gold today.
Absolutely. It was a defensive game the entire way, and Naperville got after them, stayed with them, Liederman did a great job, and that's the reason why they have the trophy.
Also, of course, with Naperville winning today, 2 wins in the DuPage Valley Conference, and obviously has to establish that conference as probably the #1 now in the state.
Well, you know, bragging rights for the Catholic League might be in jeopardy right now with the DuPage Valley coming on so strong, having had a team here last year for the state championship in Naperville North, Glenbard North. Right, so we're talking about the DuPage Valley might be the top conference in the state.
My thanks to our sideline man, Joe Passion, for a great job all weekend long on our Sports Channel coverage. We also, of course, want to thank Mike Liederman, who joined Jack on the 1A, 3A, and 5A championship. Steve Mays, who joined me for the 2A and 4A yesterday. I want to thank the entire Sports Channel crew for bringing home great pictures for this great weekend of football. This game has been produced and directed by Tim Sutton. Our executive producer is Greg Bowman. Our remote facilities were provided by Trio Video of Chicago. Once again, the 6A state champions, the Huskies of Naperville North, as they beat Loyola 21-11. The preceding has been an exclusive Sports Channel presentation for Jack McInerney, Tom Stalker. Good night, everybody.